Namaste everyone. Very welcome to Satsang today. Sadhguru Sri Muji Ji ki Jai. Very happy all of you could join us. And if you're in the hangout, the way to ask questions is to unmute your mic. And on YouTube, you can type in your questions in the chat. And if you feel that there is a strong urge to come into the hangout, you can make a request over there and we'll make some space for you. You're welcome.
There's nothing valuable to hold on. It's nothing.
So she says that there is nothing valuable to hold on to. And what she means is that there is no appearance which is worth getting attached to. Anything in this world of appearances, if we call it me or mine, then that is the beginning of all trouble. And we know this in the mortal world of appearances. How long will an appearance last anyway? So it's very good. It's a sign of maturity that you can see this. That it is no appearance which gives me peace. It is not an appearance which gives me love. No appearance gives me joy. It is in the presence of our own true being, unadulterated with the sense of personhood, not associated with the ego, that all these beautiful forces of love, peace, and joy originate. See? Sometimes, in the presence of an appearance, it seems like our mind shuts down for a while. It seems like we find the peace that we were looking for. But the peace is still coming from your own heart, in the presence of your own heart. It's just that when we are too distracted with the outer world of appearances, then the form of the Sadguru also has to come externally. But what is the true Master saying? Saying that the true Sadguru is always in your own heart. It is the same voice which speaks. It is not a form. Find this one who is there always with open arms. It is waiting for you to finish your play, to finish your games in this world of appearances, and then come back home to what is true, what is real. Therefore, those who are playing and those who are enjoying the play, no trouble then. You don't have to force anyone to come to Satsang. If they enjoy the world, let them enjoy. The world is for their enjoyment, for this game to happen. But for those who are tired now of this game, are tired of this play, will automatically find their way to Satsang. It doesn't have to be this Satsang, this form of Satsang. It can be any place which brings them to the knowledge of their true self. beyond all mental knowledge.
Guruji's message is so powerful.
Maybe you speak up a little bit.
Um, so Guruji's message that the post Rishikesh season one, and the end of it, he mentioned about um, attachment to the form of the Guru, and it's hit because it just hit so hard inside. Because they're so needy to be. He said it's so superficial, even this wanting to be with the Guru all the time. It's so needy after the season was over. When you see it was just the mind that's playing this disciple role and wanting to be with the form, not wanting to go beneath what was there. That message was so powerful. So happy he gave that.
Vijay says, Namaste, Father. Today, early in the morning, I had a strange dream. It was woven around random people and random situations from my past experiences. I don't want to go into detail, but I would like to mention one very interesting thing about this. I saw in that dream that I had the power of levitation. I could effortlessly float in air whenever I wanted to, and it all seemed so real at the time. Its impact was so much that even after waking up from sleep, for some time I thought I could levitate. It was all obviously so ridiculous, still it seemed so real. Then got reminded of your pointing about awareness and appearances, and I realized that only truth in all of this is the I, the constant awareness. Very good. The seer of all the seen. This is very good. Thank you for such an incredible revelation. This is very good. Very good. Yes. It could be that the appearance is that you can see different worlds. You can go to different planets. You can fly in the air. You can be like a bird. You can be a lion. It could be anything. But ultimately, it is all just another appearance. And if you were to just look for one instant, for one moment, if you were to be open enough just to look, you will find that you are just the awareness, untouched by all appearances, including the appearance of this body. It's very good. So it could be levitation. That's why we don't give too much importance here to any sort of superpowers, supernatural abilities like siddhis. If they come, they are fine. If they don't come, they are fine. It doesn't matter. None of this physical sort of siddhis are important, and even the other siddhis, being able to predict the future, being able to look into past lives, none of these are really relevant because they're only in the realm of appearances and doesn't really help us. Atma says, I am so happy that the need for the external guru has gone. That does not mean I will not be with my guru here, just the need has gone, leaving me in the beautiful space of neutrality. Thank you, Father. I love you beyond, beyond. So much love. So much love to you too, my dear. You will find that in this needless space, this beautiful neutrality, as you said, you will find no distance from me, the real me, which is your own heart. And that which we have no distance from, you cannot feel a sense of need about it. And yet, there can be times where you find that there is such a sweet longing. You cannot call it a need or a desire. It's a sweet longing which can be there. It tastes very beautiful actually. So this can also be there and it's no trouble. But if the mind is playing tricks with you and it's saying that you need to be there and you need this and you need to be more and more in the physical presence of the master, then it's just the mind which is playing tricks. And then Nikhil says, Father, when you answered my question yesterday, I realized that you don't actually answer the question that was asked, but you question the questioner itself. And the questioner is nothing but the ego. Namaste, Aparna, Govil. Aparna says, the moment I started crying, not sure why, and there is a sense of thankfulness in the heart, not sure what this is. You don't have to try and explain it. This gratitude, this love, is just in the service to the pure presence which is here, the pure presence of Satsang itself. Then you say, I love you so much, Father. I can see there is so much love for you. Thank you, Nikhil. Love you too. And so Beer says, I can see that all of the analysis of whether I got it or not only happens in the waking state. It also seems to be the case that the identification with the waking state is the cause of the seeming need to want to realize being in the dream state as well. It also seems to be the case that the identification with the waking state is the cause of the seeming need to want to realize being in the dream state as well. If you smell any arrogance in these statements, please let me know. However, it also seems like this fear about being seen as arrogant is also a phenomena that can be noticed. Very good. It's truly some form of magic. It must have been created by you that allows you to delude yourself to be a character in this dream, to be a character in this appearance. You see, like this? Because in one instant of just looking and checking who am I, it is seen that I am this awareness of all which is appearing and going. In one instant of real openness. And yet, the most basic question, who am I? In the world, there is so much resistance to this question. Because the mind realizes that if this question was to be asked just for one moment, then this whole play, this whole ego could not sustain itself too long. Even logically, it makes so much sense, this question. Because our entire life, we feel, I am doing this, I need to do this, I must get here, I must get there. But wouldn't it be a prerequisite to first ask, who is it that wants to get somewhere? Whose desire is it? Whose life is it? Whose goals are these? And yet, it is only a handful that all of us might know outside the Sangha who are open to this question, isn't it? So, this is the hypnosis of the mind. To resist this question can only be a result of this hypnosis. Sometimes in movies you see that there are these situations in which the protagonist is fearful that his mind is getting taken over by some energy or something like this. And I see those scenes and I see that already it is taken over by this energy of ego, this energy of personhood. And yet, there is no hypnosis which is stronger than your true power, the power of your being. Because even this play, even this hypnosis comes from your own being. Just to make this play seem more juicy, stronger, more enjoyable. Yes, Devika can come up, but just before that, we will look at Sukhbir's question. Sukhbir said, Father, there is a question that comes up. Is the sense of being created only by the body mind? The sense of being is prior to the body mind. So, in the presence of this sense of being, you will find that different body minds can take birth, can take shape. What we call waking state, dream state is actually the same. But first, there must be this sense of me, and then there could be my body, then there can be my mind. Is there ever a body without you first? Is there ever a world without you first? The sense of me, the sense I am, is prior to body. And when you're waking up from the sleep state, you will be able to see this. But first, the sense of presence is there, then even the body seems to take life. And let these be insights which come to you. Don't feel that, oh, I don't see it like this yet. Does this mean anything about whether I'm free or not? It doesn't mean anything. As long as you cannot locate the person, that much is enough. The rest will appear to you. The rest will be insights which come from your heart and constantly appearing. And then he has a sub question to that. He says, I can be aware of it, the sense of being. Where am I located then? Is it a loop? The mind viewing itself? This is a very good question because when we say, am I aware now? And we see clearly that awareness is here. But can we find a location to it? Can we give it a physical location? All of us can do this. We say, am I aware now? And it's clear that awareness is here. But does it have a location? Can we identify that it is here, not there? Does it have any physical attributes? Does it have a color? Does it have a smell? Can it be measured in any way? And you will find that it cannot. And yet you know that awareness is. Why is it like this? Because first there is awareness, then there is being. In the presence of being, time and space take birth. So if time and space are like what I jokingly say the grandchildren of awareness, then how can awareness be located inside time and space? And yet it is always present, unmoved, untouched by time, unmoved, untouched by space. And then you say the mind viewing itself. The mind has no capability to view. The mind cannot see. It is only a bundle of thoughts and similar energies like thoughts. It could be memory, it could be imagination. You can even bundle emotions into it if you like. So the seeing is the seeing. The mind cannot touch or come close to this seeing. Okay, Devika can come.
Namaste, Father.
Okay, my dear.
So the question I want to ask is, when I see someone that I love very dearly and they're in a lot of pain, and I know that if they were to come to Satsang, I know that all of this would just dissolve for them in such a short space of time. I know it from my heart. But also I know that everything is happening just as it should do for them and for their awakening. So I just want to I want to lay it all at your feet, Father, because I want to know when to speak and when not to speak, and I don't know, I can't do it with enough grace. So I just want to lay it all at your feet and say it's for you to do now. That's all.
Actually, all that happens is grace, isn't it? So when I
Yes.
say that, I
Yeah.
don't seem to be able to guide my loved ones into satsang so that they can be free of their suffering and misery. This is also satsang for you, isn't it?
Yes. Very much. Very much.
So all that is appearing for you is satsang for you. It is really never about another. It's
No.
really never about another. Because
So
it is
then
a yes, yes, yes.
so then I would say that I feel such peace and contentment and joy. And so maybe what I'm asking is to drop the thought that that I need to change anything for anyone else. That it's all unfolding just as it should, and if the words need to come out of my mouth, they'll come, and it's okay for me to feel that peace and contentment in the process. It's not others are suffering, therefore I must suffer with them. That's not the truth. So maybe that's what I need to just put before you.
This is very good. This is very good. So you see that you will find that sometimes it seems like my loved ones are suffering so much and I should be able to do something about it. But we also know now that this suffering ultimately is also good for them. This is the suffering which is making them open to the truth. And it can seem like sometimes they will play this game of hide and seek. Sometimes it feels like, yes, yes, they're getting better because they come to satsang, they open the heart to the Sadguru, and then they go into hiding for some time. So a little bit this pendulum, it's happened with all of us. So we can't really blame anyone. It's happened with all of us. That we've had this back and forth, coming in and going. So it is okay. This play, it will continue like this, but you be certain that it is not possible for anyone to escape the truth. So you already know this. So you know that everyone will come to this truth. Then what is it? Then it's only a question of time. Then it's only a question of time. And time ultimately does not mean anything. So let this time go however it wants. Let consciousness play with time and space however it wants. You just enjoy the movie, whatever it might be bringing. And ultimately, I must say that you yourself are the script writer for your own movie. You, as consciousness, have written this entire script. Even the swinging pendulum of the appearances in your life are part of your own script. Yes, sometimes the movie gets painful to watch, but that is part of the joy of the book, of the movie.
Thank you, Father. Thank you always.
Know that in reality, no one can ever escape the truth because it is what they are. It is what they are. They cannot escape. In which form it happens, where it happens, what it takes to make it happen is all part of the play of time, and time means nothing ultimately. The Holy Spirit will spare no one from the truth. It will meet them in whichever form it is supposed to. Then Naomi says, Namaste, Father and Sangha. Can you say something about criticism? How should one interact in the apparent world when criticism happens? I know I'm not the person being criticized, but sometimes the person slips in. Love you so much. You know what happens, and some of you on YouTube who are here, who are new, might get a little scared of me when I say this. But the fact is that it seems like the minute you enter the door into satsang, the minute your heart opens to satsang, then all of this in the world seems to get amplified. Many of you would have seen this. That all the tricks of the mind, all the buttons that can be pushed, seem to get pushed at a much faster rate than they were earlier. Why does it happen like this? It is because the mind, the ego, this force of Maya, seems to then play all its cards very fast, so that you keep involved, you stay involved in this world of appearances. So it can happen that all the buttons, all the criticisms, all that can be said about any identity that you still might seem to hold. You see? About any identity that you might still seem to hold, these get pushed much more rapidly than before. And you might find the most peaceful friends, they start becoming extremely critical. Loved ones who always, you felt they were always at the same wavelengths, now seem to be in a different realm altogether. They seem to be so strongly attacking you, and you wonder, how is this happening? Why is this happening? I'll tell you why. This is very beautiful grace. Very beautiful grace. Because your heart's truest desire is freedom. Now, your heart's truest desire is freedom. And when your heart's truest desire is freedom, then you cannot carry even a small bit of sand, a grain of sand worth of identity with you. So any identity which remains, it will get squeezed out of you. And how do you know that some identity remains? You know because something pushes a button. You see, if nothing in life, nothing in the appearances was to push a button, then how would we know that there is some identity? See, if life doesn't slap us around once in a while, then we feel completely complacent and we feel that we are free, untouched. You see? But that's why life will make sure that if there's something repressed, something not seen, something which is a blind spot, an appearance will come and it will press that switch. And you go, ah, wow, wow. But somewhere, even with this ouch, you can then use this ouch and say, oh, this still is tender. You see, this still hurts. So, what is it? What is it? Which identity is still here that hurts? Because you know that without an identity being there, it cannot hurt. You see? I remember once, maybe you and I only did this exercise where I said that if I were to say you're a terrible parent, then that would hurt. But if I were to say that you're terrible at Olympic skateboarding or something, it would not hurt. Why is it like this? Because there can be still this parent identity or some other wife identity, some other identity which has the potential to cause suffering. And it is life's job to expose this. Because very quickly we will want to say, oh, my exam is over, all done. And I've scored A plus in everything. But then life says, no, what about this one? You haven't seen this one yet. What do you feel about this? See, and it comes. And then when these situations come, what are you to do? Just see, oh, this still has some fire. This still makes me burn. So don't close your mind. Then when the burning is happening, let the burning happen. Let it burn completely. Because all that can be burnt is only the false. Nothing real will be burnt in this fire. So from this moment, from now, don't try to hide from any criticism. Don't try to run from any burning. Just become completely open, arms spread open wide, and saying, give me all that you have. I'm open to face whatever life has to bring. And in this openness, you will find that none of this has any real power over you. In this sense of yes, in this sense of bring it on, then you will find that all this will just come and go, and soon you will be laughing about all of this play. Very soon you will be laughing about it and saying, oh, this actually used to bother me. Not from a sense of arrogance, not from something being achieved, just with a sense of wonder, you see. You'll wonder how some of these things would actually bother you. You say, I know I am not the person being criticized, but sometimes the person slips in. Yes, this is what I mean by grace. So whatever remnants of this identity still remain, they will be brought to the forefront, you see. So it can be exposed and it can be burnt in the fire of satsang, in the fire of your life, because you truly want freedom and freedom alone. And sometimes, when this confusion is there, is this truly what I want? So Ananta is saying, truly I only want freedom. And then this confusion can be there. Is this true for me, or am I just faking it? Like this. But I know this because this is true for all beings. No being wants to stay in this constricted environment of personhood. Not really. But sometimes the mind will try to confuse you. And this confusion also, we can be completely open to let the mind speak whatever it wants and let it come and go. Don't be fearful even of this voice, which is saying your faith. Is it really true? You know why I know it is true? Because you've been here for more than one satsang. The first satsang, I can give you the benefit of the doubt and say, yes, maybe a friend forced you to come. Maybe somebody said it's very nice, and you came. But after the first satsang, because in the first satsang itself we realize that for the mind there is nothing here. For the person there is nothing here. And it's pure boredom, pure misery for the mind to come to satsang. But if you can come for the second one, then I know that in your heart there is a resonance and you're tired of this game and you want to be free. And you've been there for tens of satsangs. So it's completely clear for me.
Thank you, Father.
Yes, my dear.
I think it just dissolves so quickly because I think it is grace, you know, as it comes up. It feels very much. My response to the criticisms have been thank you for
Yeah,
shedding the light on what's left here, you know, because it's clear that this is what's happening, you know, as it should.
this is very good, very good. And I feel that this video of Mojiji, which is the best mantra, that video is the best video. If it is the only satsang you would ever see, then that would be the best video. Just to say thank you to anything that comes. He says there that it
Yeah.
seems like life is kicking you in the face, and still you say thank you. It might not appear externally like this, but in your heart you're still grateful to life for exposing this sense of personhood which still was there. And in this gratitude, in this thank you, it all dissolves very quickly.
Yes, I agree. Thank you so much.
Very well.
Good to see you.
Oh, good to see you too.
Thank you.
And Google says, Google is here, but your mic isn't working, my dear. You want me to read it? Or you want to say it? Okay, his image is frozen, so maybe I read it. Oh, everybody's image is frozen. Not sure if the Hangout is still working.
Yes, he's moving on mine, Father, so
Okay, okay.
I think he's okay.
I'll read his question. So he said, thank you, Father. You answered my question also. For me, the seeming journey from beingness to pure awareness feels difficult because, and you said seeming, which is good already, feels difficult because awareness is non tangible with no characteristics in this physical world. So it feels frustrating sometimes. So let's stop here for a minute. And you say it feels frustrating sometimes. To what? Is it awareness getting frustrated? Or is it beingness getting frustrated? Who is getting frustrated? So, in this sense of frustration, again, we are seeing that there must be some identification with the mind, which is saying this is so frustrating because only the mind can speak like this. Only the mind can say it is frustrating. But you are now beyond this. You say rightly that awareness has no characteristics. And if you are this one with no characteristics, then do you have trouble with this? No, it is again just the voice of the mind which has trouble with this. See, so don't believe this voice. And the voice is saying, why is it not tangible? Just like I amness or beingness. So if you want this tangible phenomenality, then beingness is already there. No? Then what is the point of having two sense of beingness? It's already there. If you want to hold on to something which is phenomenal, yet pure, then the sense of consciousness or I amness is there. It's already there. But just because this tangibility is there doesn't mean that the root of phenomena, the root from where all phenomena come from, that has to be the end of what you are. Okay, if it's a little confusing, maybe I repeat it. So this sense of I amness is the root of all phenomena. We call this the immaculate conception, isn't it? So from this, the entire world of appearances starts. And there is no trouble. If you just feel that I am this, then it is said in the Bible also that God said, I am that I am. If you say that I am this beingness, it's completely fine. I see no trouble with this. And yet, very simply, we must see this question, which is that you are aware even of this, isn't it? So there is awareness even of this. And then you say, but even this frustration is observed, and the desire that this frustration should go quickly with self inquiry is also observed. And then, even when the seeker is dropped, awareness is here all the time, and I am this awareness only. So clear, Father. Very good. If you find any arrogance or smell of person in this, please burn it completely. Thank you so much, Father. I smell no arrogance in this. Very good. And Vikas had said that, Father, I feel like sharing a report with you. Yes, my dear. And Bhagavati said, suffering has always been my greatest teacher. May all buttons be pushed and removed. Very good. This is a good prayer. Come, Vikas, my dear.
Morning, Father.
Good morning.
Uh, Father, it's like when the eyes are closed and there is just an awareness, there is no sense of I am, just like nothing exists. I mean, for the world to exist, I mean, I should exist or the person, or I mean, something should exist, but it seems like there is nothing. So, I mean, can this state, I mean, it feels like just be there. There is no need to, I
But
mean,
yes, but this
even
just be
have that
there,
sense of I am.
this just be there is whose voice?
It's just an expression of words. I mean, there is not even that feeling. Just to, I mean, I'm not able to explain. So,
Because you
I'm
cannot
trying
leave.
to use words or
Yeah. But the fact of the matter is that you cannot leave this awareness, isn't it? This is your discovery. The discovery is that I am this awareness, and there is no way that I can ever become anything else. At best, I can pretend. At best, I can pretend. But actually, even this pretense is part of the play of appearances. The mind will
just
come
gets
and say,
blank. I mean,
I don't want this play of appearances also. The mind will come and say, but you don't want this play of appearances also now. But the fact is that without your will as consciousness, no play of appearances would also happen. You are that Supreme One which creates this play and plays all the actors in this play also.
there is a watcher of this play of appearance, and then something is even aware of that watcher.
Because there is no watcher, you see. There is a sense of there is a watcher, but there is only the watching itself. There is no seer, there is only the seeing.
It all gets blank. I mean, the moment I'm looking,
Yeah.
it's all
Funnily
blank. I
enough,
don't know.
my screen, I'm not able to see your video, it's all blank. I don't know whether the others can see. Can you see Vikas? No, it's a blank screen.
He's a
So this
little
is,
blurry and a little bit blank. He comes in and out.
I see. For me, it's completely blank. So this blank. So suppose this blank was there, and you were all there is, and there's nothing, no play of appearances happening on your screen. then would you be okay with this? So there will be a time where you want to play with some appearances, and then this world is gone, the world of appearance. And as part of the play, then you also say, oh no, no, I don't want the appearances. All this play can happen.
The feeling that arising is that the world does not exist. I mean,
Not
for
really.
the world to for the world to exist, there needs to be a phenomena that I as an beingness or I as an consciousness is there, but uh, like for the awareness, it's just like a blank space. No, nothing comes, nothing goes. It's just like there.
Very good. Very good. That's why I say that you will discover that none of this has ever really happened. You cannot force this discovery. It will be a true insight which comes from your heart that none of this play. Because for the mind, it is crazy talk. You just talk like this, it doesn't make any sense. When I say none of this has really happened, for the mind, it is just crazy talk. But you are having this revelation for you that all of this play which is happening has never really happened. It doesn't exist.
And even in the relationships, it's just like it feels like it's it's the same relationship with everyone. It's not like because for you to have any relationship, there needs to be a person, you know, uh, which is interested in the story and something, just like everything moving so fast, and it feels like all relationships are like just the one, and there is no special, nothing special in it, meaning in anything, and I don't know, it's just happening spontaneously, and just wanted to expose it to you.
Sounds a
I'm
bit
not
of
sure
trouble,
what is it.
talk for me because I know your marriage date is coming soon. Not a good idea to share these kind of things with your wife. Yeah? But you will find that this role, whatever role needs to be played, the role of the husband, the role of partner, will happen very spontaneously, very easily.
That there is no, I mean, no fear. There is not even a thought. It, it's just, I mean, it's been seen, and it's a complete awareness that everything is going to happen on its own. It's just like if I have to go anywhere, this body will go automatically. Things will happen on its own. It's just like the very identification that I am going there as a person, and it's just like a body, a consciousness. It's just moving and doing whatever it takes, and then there's an awareness of that, just like happening on its own.
Exactly. Right.
Thank you, Father.
And David had said, fear of being seen to be arrogant has appeared here too. It has previously led to a hypersensitivity to always construct behavior in terms of arrogance. Very good. I had a question that arose from this, but fell away naturally as it lost its juice, but might be helpful here now, which was, might this hypersensitivity to arrogance be the smell of the person trying to procure its own enlightenment and defend against anything that might get in the way? Also, a corollary question, how do you understand arrogance? Thank you. Very good. So we look at the corollary first. For me, and I've said this before, what is the strongest arrogance we can have? The strongest arrogance that we can have is to say that I can be separate from God. Can be separate from God. And anything which smells of this separation then must be arrogance. There must be this voice which says that you are separate, God is separate. Therefore, you have your own free will, you have your own doership, you are a separate person. The separate person, which is the owner of this body mind, is what you are. This is what the voice is trying to convince you about. So for me, this is the most arrogance. Because that which is all there is, how can there be a separation in this? So for me, the most arrogant is not to say that I am God. For me, the most arrogant is not to say that I am that in which God takes birth. For me, the most arrogant is to say I am a person. See, because the mind has it upside down. The mind says to say that I am God is arrogance. But actually, to say I am a person is arrogance. So anything which contributes to the sense of personhood, which reinforces this sense of personhood, this sense of separation, must be then arrogance. And where can this voice come from? It only comes from what we call the mind, the ego. Because the mind is always referring to us as a person. And at the same time avoiding the question, who is the person? Is there a person here? Always referring to you as a person and yet never asking where is the person. This is the trick of the mind. Therefore, all that comes from the mind is ultimately arrogance. Because all that is coming from the mind is personhood. And in this way, then, I feel that the first part is already answered. Because you say, might this hypersensitivity to arrogance be the smell of a person trying to procure its own enlightenment and defend against anything that might get in the way? Yes, because it's still personal, you see. Still the person saying that I must not be arrogant, I must not be arrogant. I can play this trick like this. Aradhana says, yes, all triggers got amplified when a turning towards the truth happened. Clung to Sadhguru's grace like a child while the storm passed. Still clinging, still passing. Thank you. Bhagavad says, a constant prayer in my heart is that I be nobody, no identity. This remains Guruji's clearest pointing to me to hold on to nothing. Yeah.
How does all the burning of the appearances happen? Just by being in awareness that all that happens.
It is happening now already because you're in satsang. All you will find that all this sense of identity, everything you will find is getting pushed. All these buttons are getting pushed. Some people are saying things to you which you never expected. How can this one be saying this to me like this? So all of this is getting pushed to expose all the identity. So what is the person? I say that the person is just this big photo album. That all the thoughts that we believe about ourselves are the individual photos. So one way is to try and remove all the thoughts. Every thought that you believe, okay, what you believe. But that seems like too painful and long drawn to me. But the good thing is that this photo album is structured by the different sub-identities. So we can quickly look at, say, friend identity and say, let's throw out the friend identity. Let's throw out the seeker identity. Let's throw out the parent identity. Let's throw out the child identity. So very quickly what happens is it starts pushing the buttons of those identities which still remain after you come to Satsang. And then you find that this you can use. Say, oh, this identity still remains here. Who is the one who feels that they are a friend? If there is no person, then how can there be a personal friend? And this way, then all these things are getting burnt and they're getting thrown. The mind wants to play this trick on you and push the button and say, try to get you back involved. I don't want to lose my friendships and this is happening. But then you can outsmart this trickster and say, okay, this seems to be causing some suffering, so I will inquire into it. So what is the identity that is getting affected? It must be the friend one. So can I inquire and find this friend? Who is the friend? Is it the body which is the friend? Is it the presence which is friend? Where is the friend here? Then you realize it was another part of the imagination itself. Just imagine. And then this imagined identity is also thrown away. And in this way, if we have this approach, then anything that life brings is welcome. So either it will bring something which causes no suffering, which is joy, but if it brings something which seems to cause suffering, it is food for self-inquiry. So nothing we are now resisting, completely open to everything. Yes. And you can specifically also look and say, I must be carrying this identity because you'll be able to figure out, And if you do it identity by identity, it's faster. If you do it thought by thought, it seems like, oh, I still believe this thought. Let's take the friend example. Suppose you have 100 friends. So it's much easier to say that there is no friend that exists here than to say I'm not friends with this. There's no one being friend with this one, this one, this one. Going over it 100 times. So just root it out from the root and say there is no friend here. There is no person here which can be the friend. Consciousness can play the role of friend. You see, so then whose problem is it? It is consciousness' problem. So all our identities can be plucked out from the root anytime some suffering comes. So now you can come to a point where you welcome suffering. You can actually make a prayer and say, whatever is remaining, please give it to me so that I can look at it and throw it away. See, it takes that little bit of courage and trust in the master, and then so simple. You can say, whatever arrogance still remains, let it come and let it be slapped out of me. Let this be my prayer. Yes.
Since a friend identity is coming and I'm doing inquiry, the times when we're attached to it also, believe in the thought, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yes, because suffering means that you already believe the
Yeah.
thought. So we are saying post suffering, what can I do? If you don't believe the thought, no suffering is possible anyway. This is what to do if you find that some thought seems to get recurring belief. You inquire into it.
Father, can I speak to you?
Nirmay, very good. Yes, yes.
Can you hear me okay?
I can.
Very good, thank you. I just wanted to ask your advice, actually. Last time I spoke to you, we did the self-inquiry, who am I? And afterwards I listened over and over, and then I asked Bhagavati to listen with me, and we talked through it. And I'm not one for really having experiences. I've never had anything like that. And but suddenly, when she was talking to me and explaining this section that you spoke to me, and I don't know, I suddenly sort of thought it. Well, not thought. It sort of came. I had a glimpse, possibly you would say, and I realized, wow, this is nothing. It's like this has always been here. It's what's all the fuss about,
Yes, yes.
It's sort of. I was like, and I remembered the pointings of don't let the mind take it and everything like that, because it felt so ordinary. It was like it really was nothing. And Bhagavati said, yes, but what seems to have happened now is that I've totally forgotten it all. And in fact, I even had to, and it's got less, I remember less and less. And I've even had to write down the words that I remembered I said, because by this morning I'd totally forgotten them. So it's like I had this glimpse and I haven't let the mind get it. Although there is an attachment to going out and trying to remember that because it was just like, this is it, and so I'm in this sort of thing where I've totally forgotten the whole thing now, and I'm not quite sure, and I don't want the mind to get it, but I'm not sure what to do now.
It's good that you bring it into satsang. It's good, very good that you bring it into satsang, because you say that I had a glimpse. And a glimpse of what? A glimpse of who I am, isn't it?
I can't hear you.
I
I'll
said,
take my.
yes. So you said that.
Yeah.
You said that I'm having a glimpse, and I was saying that a glimpse of what? A glimpse of who I am, isn't it? So you say I had a glimpse of who I am, but now it seems like I've forgotten it completely.
Yes.
And was this glimpse of what you are or who you are different from the glimpse that you get when I say, are you aware now?
Yes, it was because, well, no, not really, but it was like a feeling like the penny dropped. You know the saying, like the penny dropped? And it was like, and
Yes.
yeah.
This the sense of the penny dropping is not what is of importance here. The sense that the mind dropped and the mind was quiet, or everything else, appearances seem to have no power, all of that is just the byproducts of what the truth is. So don't be concerned about whether the rest of the world became quiet and it was so clear, or whether it's still noisy. But the fact is that the glimpse must have been that you are this awareness itself, this pure, simple watching. It's pure simple witnessing, and you yourself said that it seems so simple and ordinary. This is very good, you see. It means that your focus was on what you are, not what the byproducts are coming in the appearance.
Yes.
Sometimes we miss the fact of what we have discovered ourselves to be just because there are some exciting fireworks that are happening in the appearance. And you yourself said that I am not one for these fireworks, for these exciting events to happen. So this is very good, because sober seeing for me is the best. The best.
Yeah, it was so ordinary. There was no, yeah, it was just
So
ordinary, but
I guess there's also, but it was a strong ordinary in a way. Do you know what I mean? It was like it's obviously had an impact because although I can't sort of remember it, there's sort of yeah, there's sort of like very
So now what you must do is forget about it. Because
no,
the
I must do
memory,
is what? Sorry.
forget about it.
Ah, I thought that maybe yes.
Now forget that this happened as an event.
Yes.
You don't refer back to it so much. Every moment you start the inquiry fresh.
Okay.
Because what the mind will try to play on you, the trick the mind will try to play on you, is try to compare it with yesterday's what happened or whenever this happened. It will try to always benchmark it, always with something that happened. You see, already it is starting to do like this when it's saying, okay, but that time, something just dropped. So now, if you got a taste of this, then you just forget about the event. You just say, okay, who am I now? Who am I now? You see? And if it is real, if it is true, then it must be here now. So it doesn't really matter what happened in the past. Even this beautiful, sober seeing of your own true nature. Because if I am that self, then that self must be here right now. And then in this way you will find that fresh. Every moment you discover that you can only be this. So don't make this version of your true self, don't make an event out of it. Because the mind will want to make something out of it, you see, and you already avoided most of the tricks of the mind, which is very good. But also this one, then you let go of.
Yeah, this is why I thought I'd better speak to you because I could see that it was like beginning to get momentum, you know? And it's like, and so yes, very good.
Yes, this is very good. And something in your mind will say, oh, but he's now validating my experience and it was very nice. Something, it will have this kind of voice, sometimes it might come. You see? So just I'm making you aware of these kind of tricks that the mind will play. But I am telling you that this, what you see, this ordinary experience of your own true self is available to you fresh in every instant. And therefore, no need to refer to anything in the past.
Thank you.
Very well.
Thank you so much.
Always, always.
And thank you, Bhagavati, for getting me on.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mm.
Yeah, good. Tomorrow. Thank you, Atma, my dear. Thank you so much. Very good. Only in satsang it can happen like this. 1 minute, oh Father, I'm dying, I'm falling. And next minute smiling and saying thank you, thank you.
Father, don't leave me.
Not possible.
Promise.
You will buy one get one free.
Just laughing at me, Father.
So let the one that is dying, die. Let the one that is falling, fall. And in this you discover your undying self. And now you are discovering that all the suffering, all that happened in our life has been pure grace because it has brought us to this point. It has brought you to Satsang. We can give great gratitude to all that has happened. We can have no grievances now. Not one moment of our life we would change, because in that moment our life could have changed and we would not be here. Rahul says, is this mind? Who says I'm running and I need rest? If it is accompanied with the presence of love, peace, then it is your own intuition. The Sadguru in your own heart is speaking. But if it becomes another need, another desire that I want rest, I want peace, it's like this, it's noisy like this, then it's the mind. Andrew says, Father, I hear some of my friends saying that this life is about experience. But for me, I feel I have had enough experience. Blessed to be at your holy feet, Father. There comes a point where something says, I've had enough of this world of appearances. But doesn't mean that we have an aversion to anything. We have no desire left for any experience, and we have no aversion to any experience. This is the beautiful neutrality which is unconcerned with the content of all appearance. And just in this discovery of what you really are, then the content of these appearances will not really matter. They can still be enjoyed, they can still be wonderful, but there is no attachment to them. No attachment and no fear of any outcome. All of us must see, try and find what is it in this world that can really touch me in reality, not just something which the mind is saying, oh, this hurts or this is not good. Find out that which can really touch what you really are. Is there anything in this world of appearance? And this gives you then the openness. It is the fear which makes you resistive. And once we stop fearing this world, then we are open to all that is. And this openness is freedom. Be open to all that can come and go, and you will find that you are this untouched awareness of it. Untouched. It could be the most horrific appearance or the most beautifully sublime one, but to you as awareness, you are not concerned by this content at all. No one should try to make their mind free. If you're still trying to bring freedom to the mind, it will not happen. Because the mind is just this voice of personhood. And the voice of personhood can never be the voice of self. It can only pretend. What is the pretend voice? It is the voice of the spiritual ego. The spiritual ego is nothing but the person voice pretending to be the voice of the self. And Parvati says, Father, I just had a major bliss attack. I just feel to say thank you, I love you. It's contagious, my dear. And Andrew says, as Maharaj said, I let my life unfold according to its destiny. I remain as I am. Takes no effort to find this truth. All effort is just to reinforce the false. What is holding up space? Does it need a foundation? It's only the content of the appearances which need to be reinforced, isn't it? The space in this room is just the space in this room. Nothing can touch it. You can try to cut it with a sword, you can try to burn it with fire. It cannot be touched. You are that space in which this space is born. You cannot even say that you are this space. You are that in which even this space is born. How can any appearance touch you? How can anything ever happen to you? Even when the body is screaming in pain, even when the worst seeming emotions are passing through here, none of it really touches you. As it says in the Course in Miracles, nothing real can be threatened. Nothing real can be threatened, and nothing unreal ever existed. Herein lies the peace of God. So you as awareness, you as this pure witnessing space, cannot be threatened by any appearance. It is only other appearances which seem to get affected by appearances. All that I'm pointing is just for you to make this discovery for yourself. That I always have done only this. And it is unfathomable for me to become just some mere appearance in this plane. Nothing needs to be forced. You could say that all of this seems very real to me. All of this seems very real to me. This world seems real. All the people seem real. And even that is completely fine. That is completely fine as long as you're open to this question, can you show me the person? So even if all the content of the appearances is real, the person does not even exist in this realm of reality or unreality. Can you see this? That even in this world of appearances, there is no person here. It is just a daydream. The main pointing is not to discard appearances. The main pointing is to see that I could never be a person. A person has just been fiction. Has just been a myth. Therefore, all that is personal is mythical. So don't get caught up in this mythology anymore. Don't stay caught up in this mythology of personhood. taste life without this mythology of being a person. This one has actually crawled under the table. Ah, sure. So please says, Father, the tendency to want to grab onto an insight still remains. But when grabbed onto, it simply becomes noisy and the urge comes to let it go. Don't know why I'm even writing. It's completely good. It's completely. No insight, no knowledge needs to be grabbed. All insights will appear fresh in the moment. Whatever is needed will come from your mouth. Ravi is also here. Namaste. Palak is under the table. They're asking who's under the table. Bhagavati says, I am under the table also. So sweet. David says, is there room for me? Yes, yes, it's a big table. Yes, yes, you too, my dear. Very much like Rishikesh Satsang, no? When we used to sit, everybody would start off very civilized on sofas, sitting in front. And then by the end of Satsang, half of them were on the floor, staggering. Who's going to sing for us or play a song? Maybe you can play one more from the sacred chants of Shiva that was playing earlier. Oh, Bhagavati has a beautiful song, Shivani says. Okay, let's hear this one. No? No? What is this song about? Is she says Shivani has a recording. Okay, let's hear one from the sacred chants of Shiva and then we play the recording as well.
शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् अद्वैतमानन्द रूपं अद्वैतमानन्द रूपं चिदोऽहं चिदोऽहं सच्चिदानन्दोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं मुक्तोऽहं नित्योऽहं शुद्धोऽहं बुद्धोऽहं मुक्तोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् शिवोऽहं शिवोऽहं शिवस्वरूपम् शिवस्वरूपम्
Oh, Sangeeta is here. And she says, can I come up, beloved father, to sing? Yes, my dear, you can come. You can make some place for her. Okay, we have space for you, my dear. So you'll see a hangout link and you click on that and you will be. Thank you, Priya.
Namaste, beloved father.
Namaste, my dear. Yeah, you have the sun behind you, so you cannot really see your face.
It's the curtains, probably. I can.
Yes, yes, this is good.
That's good. That's good.
Oh, very good, very good. So happy to see you, my dear.
Namaste, everyone. I don't know the song really, actually, but I mean, that urge was there. I wanted to sing. So,
Yes, yes.
does it have to be Shiva song or anything? Anyone?
Any, any,
Any songs?
any.
Can I sing a Hindi Guru Bhajan?
Yes, very
Yeah.
wonderful. Wonderful.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's the background now, actually. Mm, it's,
Your light is fine now, Sangeeta. It's fine. You've just got to tilt down so we can see your face. There.
This is good.
There. Beautiful. Perfect.
Shall I start?
Yes, please. Yes, very.
हमें रास्तों की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें तेरे पैरों के निशान मिल गए हैं। हमें रास्तों की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें तेरे पैरों के निशान मिल गए हैं। तुम ही हो शिव और ब्रह्म का संगम, सब कुछ तुम्हारा, सब तुम पे अर्पण। अब मेरा तू है, मुझ में ही तू है। हमें आसतों की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें तेरे पैरों के निशान मिल गए हैं। फूलों में तू है, कलियों में तू है, सागर की एक लहर में भी तू है। जहाँ मैं भी जाऊं बस तू ही तू है। हमें रास्तों की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें तेरे पैरों के निशान मिल गए हैं। छाए जो दिल पे गम का अंधेरा, तन्हाइयों ने जो मन को घेरा, खुलता सवेरा लेकर तू रूबरू है। हमें रास्तों की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें तेरे पैरों के निशान मिल गए हैं। हमें रास्तों की जरूरत नहीं है, हमें तेरे पैरों के निशान मिल गए हैं।
Very beautiful, my child. Very, very good. बहुत बढ़िया, बहुत ही अच्छा.
Very happy to see you.
Very happy with you. Very happy with you.
Thank you so much.
Very happy you joined in. I hope you'll come back very often. Very often. Okay, Parvati, you can have your invocations now.
Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Yanamulam Gurur Murti, Pujamulam Gurur Padam, Mantramulam Gurur Vakyam, Mokshamalam Gurur Kripa, Mokshamalam Mujiji Kripa, Mokshamalam Anantaji Kripa. Sarvesham Shantirvavatu, Sarvesham Swastirvavatu, Sarvesham Purnam Bhavatu, Sarvesham Mangalam Bhavatu, Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramya, Sarve Patrani Pashantu, Makaschit Bhavet. Asato Masatkamya, Tamaso Majotir Kamya, Mricho Ma Amritam Gamya, O Purnamida, Purnamida, Purnat Purnamidachate, Purnasya Purnamadaya, Purnameva Vashishate. Om Shanti 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 Brahma Paramastu. Om Shri Sadguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Om Shri Sadguru Mujiji Ki Jai.
Thank you all so very much for being in Satsang today. Sadguru Shri Mujiji ki Jai. Ananta ji ki Jai.
Jay,
Jai, Jai,
Jay,
Jai.
Jay, Jay.
Jai.
Thank you everyone on YouTube as well. Very good Sangeeta, right? Big hug to you, Nadia. Very beautiful song. Hey Parvati, my dear, you can have the podcast off now.